Jiru.
Seems pretty obvious.
Why don't they play a 2v2v2v2 as the last game? Because they know that Riot's going to take it away from us eventually, so they don't even want to play it. Sad. Annie.
Swain. Actually, weirdly enough, I kind of like the Swain here. I think this is one of those times where Swain offers you longevity in team fights for your Zeri. Becomes a secondary frontline into Ahri Vi. I actually really like the Swain. I think it's pretty legit. Now, they didn't ban the Draven, so that seems like a pretty strong pick into the Zeri at least.
A little bit tap him on the shoulder when he's hovering Jhin. He might accidentally lock that in.
Yeah. Okay, Aphelios. Looked like Aphelios is where they were going with the Nocturne ban, but... Uh-oh.
I have faith in Rooster. Not for the... No, I'm sorry. I take it back. I do not
Fiora,
have faith.
fine. He's going to play Fiora.
In Irelia.
Fiora or Rumble. Hopefully Fiora. Ooh, Malphite also good. Maokai also
Where
banned.
is Maokai?
No, he's not even banned. Where is Maokai? Yeah, what happened with that?
Who are these champions?
Yeah, wait, what?
Got to be kidding me with these top lane picks.
This is actually so funny how the end of this draft worked, where he's like, all right, well, I need Aphelios to match the scaling of the Zeri, and the Swain came through, and we need a little bit more engage, so let's go Malphite. We need a front line. And then Gen.G were like, oh, I see the Malphite. Let's pick Kindred because it's good in a Malphite because we just stand in the circle and nobody can die. But I feel like the finesse that's required for Gen.G's comp is pretty high because those are fine. I mean, they're not amazing, but...
First time chatter says, I'm Mexican. Well,
that's cool.
I hear it's very nice there.
Yeah.
Nice little flash here from Rooster. He's not messing around. Spots the jungler winner. As Root is going to come in, and now we got a support in trouble as he is going to hop over to his friend Carfe, but yeah, friendship now done, so he was not able to save him. All right, bit of an all-out. Going to be answered by Rooster's
unstoppable force.
Escape. Oh, Carpe's dead. Yeah, there's the Q. Down he goes, just essentially soloed by the Aphelios. You do see that the Rel does get an assist.
Dive setup, but now you have a late game as well. But it should have taken a lot longer than it's going to take. Speaking of,
once again, those pesky purple guns as he is caught in mid-dash, and down he goes. Does get a chance to dash afterwards just for fun, but he's super dead.
And Rooster, he didn't show up. So like I said, as long as he shows up, it's pretty easy. He didn't show. Now he's showing. He's coming.
Oh boy.
He's gonna appear.
There he is, and getting ready for the R button. Ophelia trying to lead the charge, but again, they just burst him down as, okay, that's Ophelia very, very nicely saved by the Kindred, but will it matter? The answer is absolutely no, as they're just getting steamrolled by Lure, and the damage is just way too much for Gen.G to handle at this point in time. Carfe, he wants to stamp it, but unfortunately, he will be the one who gets stamped out, as eventually the Cassante is killable, and it's an ace for the side of Hanwha Life Esports.
Gen.G, Hanwha potentially to go. As this is looking a little bit scary here for Gen.G. You gotta watch out for that big Brock. He's level 13. He is ready to ult.
Honestly, I'm ready for him to ult as well.
Yeah. Uh-oh, go on flank. Carfe, there's nowhere safe. And if you're safe, you can't do damage. Everfrost misses.
Yeah. The Everfrost dodge. Will we see the R button press as Winner is getting poked out pretty significantly down? Oh boy. Well,
Aphelios,
sorry. Just doing insane damage as now they have to use the Lamb's
Wait for Rooster, wait for Rooster.
Oh god, oh no, cover your eyes. This is not gonna be pretty. They do pull Roamer over the wall. As now, you know, not a lot of guys in that backline, but it's still enough guys. As the Ahri Vi turns out still pretty good in these team fights, and yeah, it's just going to be 2-3 kills actually for the side of Hanwha Life Esports, and the Dragon, as Gen.G are pretty desperate at this point. That Winner did attack the Malphite twice before dying in that last fight.
Okay.
I'll have you know. Aphelios dead because this is Aphelios. Aphelios?
Aphelios?
Aphelio? Yeah, you know, he's dead. Either way. That's the only analysis there is. So, like,
honestly, it's a tragedy. Like, Gen.G really underperforming tonight, and they were the underdogs coming into this series, but they got outclassed, and then in this third game, it's not even close. Bye-bye. That can't be happening.
Well, that's the end of him, the end of Winner as well. Who
this might just be like legit.
His Labs Respite was like 2 seconds away.
Yeah.
I just saw it come off cooldown after he died.
I mean,
that is
legit think
insane.
they end this game at 22 minutes right now.
Looks like it. As long as Lure doesn't die.
I need a wave.
And they have the wave. Well, guys, looks like that's about it. They're going to go in. They're going to press their buttons onto the enemies, and they will die. Life Esports looking like a force to be reckoned with here in the Challenger League playoffs as they absolutely decimate and steamboat the hell out of Gen.G Global Academy here in this one. As Lure, a little bit of a generous gift there at the end, but it does not matter. Still a 3-0 to the side of Life Esports.
Very clean 3-0. Not much to see here. Game 1, arguably the closest of the 3, but even that one not so much. Game 2, outclassed by the Xerath, and then in the final game, the Aphelios lead in lane. And look at the coaching staff coming out here. I mean, happy, but also just kind of chuckling, almost as if they expected this to be this one-sided from the get-go. And I think that's a reasonable expectation, but there's not even any celebration here. It's just like, all right, move on, next round, next week. That's the goal, get this one over with. Even Key now out on the stage, but yeah, 20,000 damage for this Aphelios, more than triple his counterpart.
Coaching staff?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
He joined, I want to say late last year, like right after the summer playoffs. Either that or maybe before summer season. He was joining when I went and visited their headquarters at the time. A former Hanwha player himself, I guess you could say like Rock's Hanwha era when the transition was happening.
Speaking of Rocks,
yeah,
I think the Kindred decision was not a great one. I mean, Winner, he didn't have a great series, but I also do think that he was kind of putting the whole play in the Kindred in this case. Like, maybe it's okay if you're ahead, but you're only hitting Malphite for the majority of the time. And he was never given any time to scale. The bot lane just got so decimated early on. He didn't have any lanes to play around except like that one time he tried to gank mid, and it's like, well, it's already the Spirit Rush.
That was with like Loki and stuff. Lure's gonna pick up POG.
Mostly just not even for the numbers, just for the way the lane wins.
Yeah.
It was all about, okay, well, we dunked on the bottom lane, so we win.
Yep. He played it really clean and pretty easy vote for me.
Yep, same.
Yeah, I think this kind of allays some of our fears of, oh, is Hanwha falling apart at the end of the season? Like, DRX looking a little bit stronger. Nongshim also, a lot of people saying, like, okay, maybe Nongshim could be in the finals, but Hanwha showcasing that at least against a weaker opponent here, the fundamentals are still just way better. So I'm happy to see decisive plays from them, and Gen.G, they just looked a little bit absent from this series. I mean, they showed up, I saw them on stage, and they were locked into the rift every time, but they weren't making decisive calls. They weren't being aggressive enough like they needed to be.